Okay, so T-Slim updated the way that they filled the pump cartridges on the original T-Slim. So after removing her case, you'll just do the same steps as before. Go to options, you're going to load, and then it'll say change cartridge. So once you click on that, it'll walk you through the cutting off the insulin, removing it from, Callie, so that way she's not connected to it while you're changing the cartridge. And then it's going to say to install a filled cartridge. So before you do anything else, you're going to take the cartridge and the needle, and don't forget we're going to pull the air from this empty cartridge before we do anything else. So make sure there's no air in your syringe. It's a little tricky holding it with one hand, and then you'll pull the air and remove it. Make sure that the air doesn't go back in. The alert is just saying that there's no more insulin right now. So once you have that, this should be ready to be filled with the insulin. So make sure to wipe off the top of the Novolog with alcohol swab to make sure it's clean. You're going to drop about 1.5 milliliters of air. Put it into the insulin cartridge, and then draw back up the same amount of insulin. You're going to want to make sure to get all the air bubbles out. And always make sure your insulin is at room temperature before you start doing that, or there'll be way too many bubbles. If you do about 1.5 milliliters, that will give you about 120 units of insulin. You don't really need more for her, since that'll get you honestly through 4 or 5 days. And in the heat, you probably don't want it to go that long anyway. You might want to have a pen on hand to hit it to get all the little air bubbles out from the very, very bottom. And make sure you pay attention to this little orange part in the needle, because a lot of the air bubbles will get trapped there. Alright, so once we get it to 1.5 and there's no air bubbles, then we're going to fill the loose cartridge that we pulled the air out of. Kind of aim for the center of that little white, and then just slowly push the insulin in. Now the cartridge is filled, and we can go to the pump. Alright, so we're going to remove the cartridge. Use your key that came with the pump. If you can't find it, don't have it, a quarter will work perfectly fine. Make sure you line up the little ridges on here. There's 2 of them for it to lay flat. Pop it in. Hit the blue and unlock, press next to continue, and now it's going to detect the cartridge and make sure that it's there and how much is in the pump. While it's doing that, this is just trash. We're going to find our tubing and make sure you get all of the twist out of it. Remove the little cap at the end so that way you can feed the insulin. Next, we're going to fill the tubing, so just press next, and then it'll say start to start your fill. Tip it up on the end, and I like to wait and hold it until it's at the very end to put the actual tubing on. You'll now hear a beeping sound, and that pump itself will vibrate as it's filling, so that way you can audibly hear it as it's filling. It will supposedly fill around 30 seconds faster than it used to, which isn't much, but it's better than nothing. So as you start to see the insulin coming up at the top, wait until there's like a little bubble up on the top to make sure all the air is out. And then when you can see it up at the very top, you can stick on the tube and really make sure that it's super tight, because you don't want it to twist and then get a big air bubble trap in there. Once that's done, just start checking the tube for any air bubbles. Because if you see an air bubble further down the tube, you're going to need to make sure that entire bubble is out of the end before you stop your fill. Alright, you can stop right here. So it's almost done. Make sure that before you stop it, you see several drops of insulin come out of the little needle at the end. It also takes a little bit less insulin to fill the tubing now. And one drop. 2, 3. And then we'll stop it. And it's around 18 units to fill the tube. But again, you want to make sure that you don't have any air bubbles in there. Now it's just going to detect the insulin. At this time, you can put on the case. And then once you are done doing that, you just hit done. And that's acknowledging that you see insulin at the very end. And then if you need to fill the cannula because you changed the site at the same time, go ahead and fill the cannula. We didn't change the site, so we're just going to hit done. And then we're going to resume the insulin. Make sure you always resume your insulin because sometimes it's easy to forget. And that is it. Then you just go, she can put it back on.